Hey, B. Listen, we got to talk about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Let us go ahead and let's just hop right on into that. Let me get my notes and stuff up because this was yet another good episode and we got to talk about it. I feel like it's so much to talk about. So, first of all, Bronwyn tells Todd about Lisa and how, she put her in a room with ladies that she's not really getting along with, and, how she tried to express to Lisa how she was feeling, and Lisa pretty much calling her snobby or whatever. And Todd did not agree with that, right? Let me tell y'all something. When I tell y'all, I agree with Todd on some things when it comes to Bronwyn. But listen, learning more about Todd, child, it is making me question. Like, I'm like, Bronwyn, did you come on this show for you to get a divorce, girl? Like, what is really good? I hope that her husband, who she continues to post on social media, and they appear to be pretty happy. That's the appearance. Um, I really hope that he sees himself on this show and may want to adjust some things just a little bit. Some part of me feels like Todd don't give a damn. Okay. I feel like Todd may live in his own world. He knows he's one of those rich Caucasian men, and he may not give a damn about how any of us feel about how he's treating our good girl, Miss Bronwyn. Okay. He probably gonna continue to show up how he show up. And my question is his ass even gonna be at this reunion? That's what I would like to know. Did Todd show up for the reunion and actually have his wife's back and show support? Or was he going to use the excuse that he's working 3,000 miles away and cannot be there? Because I'm sure y'all were notified about the reunion ahead of time so y'all could get y'all glam coordinated as far as the makeup, hair, attire, all of that. And I would think that he would have known and had enough time, as him being the boss that he is, to at least put in a work day for him to show up for her at the reunion. So we are going to see. Some part of me, I don't know. I don't know. He might show up, but then again, he might not. And if he does not show up, it's because he probably did not want the heat that was going to be sitting up under that ass. All right. But we shall see. All right. We shall see. He also may show up so that he ain't got to worry about no other husbands or nobody trying to come at his wife just a little bit. So who knows? Anywho, that's what they were talking about. All right. Let's get to Whitney, Angie, and Heather because they go to do this like water aerobics. And then after they do the water aerobics, they do sit down and have a conversation about Bronwyn. But did y'all catch that Whitney really wanted to talk about Bronwyn and Lisa's relationship? Right? And how you coming on this trip. This is supposed to be your good friend, your homegirl you've known for a long time. But the thing is, she done sat up here and put you in a whole nother room that what you want to be in, right? Miss Heather changed the conversation. Okay. As soon as she brought up Bronwyn, Miss Heather wanted to talk about that fucking husband, okay? Because Miss Heather has been feeling like, listen, I've been clocking things about this motherfucker for a very long time. I knew something was off, and I really want to get into that for just a little bit, right? So Miss Heather, honey, Miss Heather wanted to dive deeper into, the Bronwyn situation of y'all know she got ate the hell up by them damn dogs, or that one dog that ate her up her leg and her arm. And she was trying to get her man to come to the hospital, like, stop what you're doing, come to the hospital. I have an emergency. But Todd was over there downplaying and saying that he didn't think it was that deep. Now, that right there was what pissed me off for sure when it came to his ass. Like, that really made me mad because how dare you? If your wife is at the emergency room, if she's telling you she got bit, like, what was the conversation that was told to you for you to believe that it wasn't that deep? That's what I'm trying to understand. What was said to you for you to think that, oh, it's just a little scratch here, there? What? Ty, out of order. And I'm glad that Heather did clock it, as a lot of other people clocked it, but that's what Heather really wanted to get into. She didn't give a damn about Bronwyn and Lisa. I want to talk about this over here, and primarily because I can relate to that. So let us chime into that, right? So Heather says that Lisa described him as obsessed with Bronwyn. Y'all, you know Lisa. Lisa over exaggerates a lot of things, okay? To say this man was obsessed with Bronwyn was a stretch because our first time seeing this man right out the gate, we could tell he was not obsessed with her. So where Lisa got that from for her to say at the beginning, like, girl, are you okay, ma'am? Is you okay? Okay? Just always putting 20 on 10. Um, So anywho, Heather says that she can relate because she had a marriage like that, and she really feels sad for Bronwyn at this time. And when I was hearing Heather say that, I said, "Watch, this is going to bring Bronwyn and Heather a bit closer because now Heather has identified something that she can relate to Bronwyn on." So we'll see. Okay. I would much rather see Heather on the side of being friends with Bronwyn than her being against her. That I mean, because I'm feeling Bronwyn. I am. I'm feeling Bronwyn. Bronwyn had that moment in the very beginning where I wasn't in support of her. I'm like, I see you, BIT, because I didn't like how y'all know what happened, okay? I didn't like. I feel like she said two different things, okay? Kind of saying the same thing, but in two different ways. Like you definitely softened the blow with Miss Whitney than what you were giving off to somebody else. I wasn't a fan of that, and I didn't really like the whole conversation of last week and her making it a big deal that she wasn't as close to Lisa in the villa and stuff. And it's like, girl, Lisa been showing you her damn card for the longest. Why do you want to be so close to her? Why are you making this a big deal? Why are you even showing her that you're affected and bothered? You know? But the whole time Bronwyn had been dealing with some other stuff that was going on within her. And I guess we could say she was projecting just a little bit. But at the same time, I guess how she felt was a bit valid too. But she only had 2 moments for me out of all of the season. So I'm still rocking with Bronwyn hard. Like I really do like Bronwyn. So there's that. And I've never really followed any of the ladies over on Salt Lake City. But BIT, I have to be honest, I definitely followed Bronwyn. And I had to go and follow Angie because Angie, girl, you be having your moments too. And I will be clocking you before this is out, okay? Towards the end, we will be clocking you, Angie. However, okay, I'm liking Angie. I feel like Angie did the absolute most at the beginning of the season with the scroll because she definitely was looking for a moment as well as throwing the chair to the ground. But baby, you must have went in there and sat down with your read master or something and got with them on some things because girl, you have improved, okay? You have truly improved. But anywho, let's get to yacht day because it's yacht day and they're going on the best day ever yacht. So shout out to them. I think that Lisa has done a great job with this trip. In my opinion, I think the resort is absolutely beautiful. Um, Going on a yacht, getting a chance to get on the sea or whatever, get on the water and just have a good time. Like, girl, I think Miss Barlow did a good job. Not, not to say Bronwyn didn't, okay? Because that was cute too. But we love a little piece of water that ain't too far, honey, with some palm trees and all of that, some relaxation. So, like, girl, listen, she, I like. Okay, so Lisa, first of all, she's promoting the fuck out of Vita Tequila. I don't know how I feel about that because I'm like, oh girl, am I gonna like you promoting it so much that I'm like, am I gonna try it one day? Or is you annoying me? Is I'm American? Like, girl, is you annoying me just a little bit the way you overdoing it with Vita Tequila? But you sat up there and tried to come for Whitney and say that Whitney over here bringing up this whole Alibaba situation because she trying to promote her brand, which was a bit of a cackle. But at the same time, girl, you doing the absolute most. Okay, we know that we know this is your trip and you gonna do what you want to do because this is how you is. But damn, every scene we talking about Vita Tequila. Damn. Okay, girl. So she done gave them some bags and stuff like that. And when they get on the bus, Meredith is in a very bad baby, and Miss Meredith is falling asleep. And Whitney's like, Meredith, girl, are you okay? Meredith, are you fine? And she's like, yes, I'm okay. I didn't get much sleep last night. I'm a little cranky. I'm a little tired. So Meredith back there going to sleep or whatever. And then we learned that Brittany done sat up there and told Heather, honey, that Meredith was crying and throwing up, and she heard her in the wee hours of the night. Let me tell y'all something. Miss Brittany be keeping her ears to the street because she be over there worried about the ladies not liking her when slick. She don't like none of you bitches, okay? She don't, and she be trying to get up a little tea on y'all. But anywho, she's staying up. And then it's like if you heard her crying and throwing up, why you ain't go check on her? Why you ain't check on the Brittany since you was that concerned? But you went and you told it to Heather. Heather done went and told it to Angie. Angie about done went and told it to Bronwyn. And girl, here we are. Messy Dessy. Okay, so Meredith over there, they get to the location and they getting off the bus. And Miss Meredith is like, girl, it was giving a little bit of Karen. Okay, now I'm gonna be honest. Now it was giving a little piece. I ain't say a whole piece of Karen Huger. I said a little piece of Karen Huger. If I did not know she was crying and she was throwing up, okay, and had a bad night, I probably would have been like, damn, is Meredith drunk? She got the dark shades on. She getting up off the thing like she needs some help. It's giving wobbly wobbly. She about to drop it like it's hot, girl. Like, help her. Help her. So, of course, Lisa ran back to help her. And I'm like, Meredith, if you know you're not feeling well, why you put these heels on? Why you ain't pull a page out of Miss Heather's book? Matter of fact, why you ain't pulling no slippers out her damn bag so you could put them on? You look cute though. I ain't gonna lie. I like the little black dress. I wanted her to pull it down. Like the black heels. Super cute. Hair wasn't bad. I thought Meredith looked cute. It's just that you don't feel good. Girl, take them heels off. But anywho, and then the other part was, damn, you about to go on the yacht. So if you throwing up and you probably queasy or whatever, like, girl, you finna get even more queasy being out here on the water? Ooh, anyway, child. Anyway, that's what they had going on. So Lisa, they get on the yacht and they're talking, and Lisa's giving everybody the update on Henry because we're all checking on Henry, seeing how Henry is doing now that he's at home alone. I felt really bad for Henry when he threw that party and nobody showed up and stuff, and he's been in his little bubble. But these are a part of the growing pains, and he's slowly coming out of that. And Lisa was giving us an update on Henry, and I kind of like the update on Henry. Give me a little bit of, let me know what Henry got going on. Okay, how is he feeling? Is he doing a little better? Good for Henry coming out his shell just a little bit, right? So everybody's all like into it, trying to know about Henry. Now, I ain't never met Henry, but I feel how the ladies feel just a little bit because we've seen Henry. We know Henry, okay? We want to know more about, like, what's up, Henry? Okay. So Brittany, like, wait a minute, BIT. You is some raggedy, y'all some raggedy hoes, okay? Because listen, I sat up there and I told y'all about my child. I told y'all about her last night. I gave you bitches an announcement about Olivia. And you motherfuckers ain't give me not a damn piece of a reaction the way y'all giving her one. And Bronwyn said, girl, that's because we know Henry. I said, I know that's motherfucking right, girl. I know that's right. That's because we know Henry. Okay. Angie says, but girl, like, we was sitting over here and we was really talking about Lisa. We was giving every bit of talking about her, and you try to sit up here and make it about you. And then Brittany started, but BIT is because I'm hurt. I don't get to see my child every day like you do. I don't get to do that. So I am in my feelings about it. Bronwyn said, well, girl, let me ask you this. Do you care about the relationship with your child, or do you care about making an announcement about it? Like, which way is it? And I'm like, nah, Bronwyn. Now, when Brittany sat up there and said, Bronwyn, you're a fucking bitch, okay? She wasn't wrong just a little bit in that moment, because what does that have to do with anything? What do you mean? Do you care about, and y'all help me understand that part, because she's like, do you care about your relationship with your daughter, or do you care about making an announcement about it? And it seems like she cares about her relationship with her child, which is why she brought it up to y'all. Granted, I think she cares about her relationship with Jared more than she does care about her relationship with her child. Don't make no mistakes about that. However, I think she cares, which is why she tried to share with y'all, and y'all didn't get much of a reaction. So how is that then her fault? Like, I don't know. Like, it's just y'all not accepting the fact that y'all didn't give a reaction. And instead of saying, honestly, Brittany, we really don't care, we don't give a damn, y'all trying to make her the problem of some sort. But okay. So Brittany asked, girl, why you always the troublemaker? And then Bronwyn said, Lisa, you gonna say something? At any moment, girl. At any moment, you could chime in and have my back. The same way you want me to have yours. At any moment, girl, we waiting. The people are waiting. Lisa says, BIT, it's not my responsibility to defend either one of you hoes up here. I don't have to defend not now one of you bitches. Even if I require that of you, I don't have to do it in return. You should know this by now, girl. Okay, so Barlow says, girl, we've been friends for years, though. And you going to let her sit up here and talk to me like that? I don't know why I'm surprised, because you let a lot of these bitches sit up there and talk to me any kind of way. Okay, because that's just how you is. That's what you do. And Lisa says, girl, I have stepped up for you in every way. And Bronwyn says, yeah, I'm sure. Right. Of course you have. Of course. You're right. You're right. I'm wrong, girl. So Lisa says that, I've been showing up for you and I'm really over it. And Bronwyn says, except when I tell you that I don't feel close to you. That's where you show that you really don't give a damn. Okay? Period. So Bronwyn says, has anyone asked me, like, y'all have had so much stuff to say about me, labeled me a gold digger, saying so much stuff about my marriage and me. Has anybody asked me about anything about myself? Okay? All y'all did was talk shit about me. She says, y'all get all in my marriage, but y'all not asking the real tea, like how hard it is to be a stepmama. Okay? She says how to navigate a relationship with a man that's, she says how to navigate a relationship with a man that's successful and much older than her. Okay, and ain't nobody asking about the infidelity or whether we've had any infidelity within our marriage. Y'all ain't even asking the real questions, but you always got so much to say, baby. The way they got quiet and didn't know what the hell to say. I mean, everybody got quiet. Now, this is what I had an issue with. Nobody consoled her, in my opinion. Nobody tried to console Bronwyn and say, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, Lisa switched her positioning, and I thought she was finna slide over there to Bronwyn, but if anything, she switched her positioning so she could get closer to hear the tea. And I was just like, oh, girl, y'all a mess. Okay. Here go Whitney. How did you find out? And I'm like, girl, you ain't gonna at least say I'm sorry that happened to you, Bronwyn. Maybe they did. And it was edited out, but I ain't really like that part. So, anywho, Bronwyn let her know that she was on a trip with her daughter and her husband. Her daughter went to go ask him something. She looked over his shoulder, saw him, I guess, texting somebody else on an iPad. That's how she saw it. So she came and told Bronwyn. Bronwyn had a conversation with her husband. Now, I do question that just a little bit, and I'm like, well, if your daughter is going to ask a question of him and she looks over her shoulder and sees it, like, what did she see? Did she see a photo or something? Or did she have an inkling that her stepdad is doing something and that was a perfect opportunity for her to go over there to him and be over his shoulder and kind of see what's going on and then act like she was asking him something? That's what I'm a little confused about. So I'm like, I don't know. Whatever it was, he got caught. Okay? Whatever it was, he got caught by the stepchild and Bronwyn had to confront him. Okay, so that's that. All right. So what else ended up happening? Okay, so yeah, the daughter found out, looking over the shoulder, saw him interacting with somebody, came and told Bronwyn. Bronwyn went back, confronted him, whatever. All right. So Todd told her, because they asked, like, what did he say when you went to him and confronted him about this? And she gonna say that Todd was like, oh, he says that's a fatal flaw. Baby, Bronwyn, I don't know if it's that you about didn't, because you didn't come from a home of money and you hit the lick with him, that you just wanted to stay. I don't know if it's that you genuinely love him or if it's because, you don't want to change your lifestyle and uproot everything for your child. I feel like a lot of it may be connected to your child, which is why you ended up staying with him, because then you meet him when your daughter was like 10. So he's been in her life like half of her life. Maybe that's why you didn't want to uproot. But BIT, what the fuck do you mean a fatal flaw? You really should have dug in his ass and you should have been tearing shit up in that fucking house, in my honest opinion. Because it's the fact that he felt so comfortable to tell you that it's a fatal flaw of his. And basically, you got to be okay with it. Because she ends up saying something like, it's not his fault. Like, it's not his fault. He used to what he used to. And I'm like, what the fuck do you mean it's not his fault that he's used to what he's used to? It's every bit of his fault if he has you feeling unsecure and insecure in your damn relationship. Because he out here want to do what the hell he want to do. Like, girl, fuck, no. Place the blame where it need to go. So he ended up giving her, I guess what she said, a 5 diamond ring or 5 carats or whatever it was. And each diamond represented the things that he didn't promise her during the marriage. But they asked her what those 5 things were, and she wouldn't tell them. Okay, and I don't think she should have. I gave you also enough information. But anywho, but yeah. So that's what's going on. Now, I definitely believe Bronwyn's story. Because I do believe that he cheated and stuff. But I just question a second about, like, did your daughter just happen to stumble upon that on accident? Or did she, too, have an inkling that her stepdaddy was doing something and she was about determined to catch his ass, okay? Because let me tell you something. When I was a kid, girl, I know I ain't like mine, all right? I didn't like mine. And I did not like that motherfucker. When I tell you, I used to take notes on his ass. Okay, whenever he would take me somewhere, I'll write down the time we went there, what time, how long we was there, what the address is. Like, bitch, I was an investigator on that motherfucker, okay? And my mama ended up finding my notebook, like, what is this? And I'm like, and he's standing right there. I said, oh, that's information I collected on him. Yeah, sure did, because I don't like you, and he knew that. Okay, but anyway, girl, maybe she had a little piece of me up in her, and she was like, I'm gonna find this nigga doing something. I'm gonna tell my mama when I find out where. Okay, but anyway, girl, there's that. So then Lisa is shocked, okay, and says that she's processing everything because this is hard to believe. Basically saying that she wasn't privy to this information before. from Bronwyn, so she's having a hard time believing it. Just because you set up a false pretense in your damn mind of their marriage being absolutely perfect is on you. I feel like Bronwyn is showing up as honest as she has this season. In my opinion, I don't think that Bronwyn was hiding that from you. It may make me question how close y'all were, I guess, but either way, girl, she's telling you the information now, whatever it was. So for you to still feel like you processing it because you don't want to believe her is whack a bit, in my opinion. So Bronwyn says that Todd works 3,000 miles away from her and for 5 days out the week. So he stays away on a weekly basis. It's very easy for this man to have a whole nother family. Not just a whole nother woman, but a whole nother family. 5 days a week, bitch. 3,000 miles away. Ooh, Chile. She says she's always worried about not being perfect, pretty much, okay? Not being perfect, and it reinforces the idea that she isn't good enough. And then when she gets in this group and she's having her issues with these ladies, it's reinforcing it yet again. And I do think Bronwyn needs the therapy to unpack all of that, because that's been showing up since you've been in college. You said that you were like the rebellious kid. And when things didn't work out for you in college, I guess your family felt the way about that. Then next thing you know, you got pregnant. Then they probably felt the way about that. Like, I feel like you've constantly had situations show up in your life to reinforce or to make you feel as though you're not good enough. And I think that if you have not worked on getting the healing to unpack those things, then now it's definitely the time, especially now that you're about to be alone, in my opinion. So Meredith says, do you think that he can't be that invested because you're so guarded against him? And then Lisa says, that's a great question. And I said, now, how the fuck is that a great question? And what the hell kind of question is that for you to come to this girl and say that? What the hell? I was like, BITCH, are you crazy? How it was giving every bit of this is your fault. Maybe he can't be that invested in you because you're guarded. And the reason why it really irritated me is because you've seen the interaction firsthand of how they are together. Todd isn't always right in everything, but Heather's not wrong about how he dismisses Bronwyn. She's not wrong in that. So how do you witness his behavior and then assume that she's guarded as if he did not create that type of space for her to now be guarded? And then try and put it off on her. Like, girl, go away from me with this, ma'am. You better go away from me with this, girl, okay? I'm about to be dealing with her. Anywho, Bronwyn thinks she loves Todd more than he loves her. At least that's what I took from it. Those are not her exact words. But pretty much, okay? She loves him more than he loves her and says she doesn't know if people actually get her. She feels alone because she doesn't get along with her mama, probably because of her past. She losing her dad, okay, and her daughter about to go off to college. These are the reasons why I think it's time for you to unpack those things about what's going on. You ain't gonna have nothing but time. Todd going away 5 days out the week, 3,000 miles away. The most you gonna have is dealing with these fucking ladies, bickering, going back and forth. It's time to unpack that. But I promise y'all, when Bronwyn unpacks that and recognizes her worth, her and Todd are not going to survive. I hate to say that. I would love for them to survive, but I definitely see her living her best Jennifer Tilly Sutton life. With all that nigga money after the fact. Probably more so Sutton because, probably more so Sutton though. I can see her getting that alimony or whatever that. He ain't got no prenup either. I see her getting a good amount, but I also can see Bronwyn being so prideful to say she not gonna take nothing from him, right? She like, I don't need anything from Todd. I'm not gonna take anything. I'll get it how I've always been getting it. No, but you better not. You better make him pay. Okay, pay me for my pain, pay me for my time, and you can say the bullshit because everything is mine. Okay? Period. You better go get your money like Trina said. But anywho, all right, she brings up Lisa introducing her to these new friends, and she thought that it was going to be great for her, but it's been a little tricky dealing with these ladies, okay, and them not getting along with her. Heather decides to use this moment to pour into her and let her know that she's a survivor, and the things that you may have felt like you were okay with dealing with at one time, you're not in that same place, and you ain't got to deal with that shit no more. You really don't. So You deserve more than that. And I appreciate that moment coming from Heather. That's when Heather really gets in her bag because she really can relate to that, and that's when Heather get in her bag, okay? Now, Meredith speaks on how her and Seth had to redefine how their relationship worked, and it doesn't mean that he doesn't love her. He just doesn't know how to show in a way that she needs yet. Like, it doesn't mean he don't love you. He just don't know how to show it to you in a way that you need it right now. And I'm just like, Meredith, shut the hell up, girl. And honestly, that's why you was sitting over there crying. If we gonna be honest, that's why you was over there crying in the room, because you and Seth over there going through it. So for you to try and say later on in the episode that I was crying about slut shaming, you full of shit. You was crying about you and Seth, I'm sure. Okay. What else? Angie shares her thoughts as well and talks about her marriage and Sean wanted to open up a new location and she just now breathing after opening up the last one and she just tired and stuff. So she loves her husband and all of that. So she opens up too. Lisa didn't share anything, didn't have much of an opinion or nothing to offer to Bronwyn. But once it was all said and done, and this is typically what she does when everything is done, then she wants to go and embrace a person after the fact. Like she really contributed to the conversation of some fashion. So she goes, she hugs Bronwyn and tells this woman that she is so much more relatable now. Girl, what? Now she's much more relatable. Well, tell us why, Miss Lisa. Why is she more relatable now? The person that you've been friends with for about 10 years. Now she's more relatable. I'm willing to believe she's more relatable because you believed that her marriage was perfect. You thought highly of her. And because what Heather said something about who wouldn't want to be friends with a person that appears to be cool and they're rich as hell. Yeah, that's what it was given. But now, and also what Whitney said that, at some point you and Lisa are going to beef because Lisa thinks that you have more than her or whatever the case is. But I feel like for Lisa to tell this woman she's relatable, yeah, that's because you feel like she's on your level now. And things aren't as perfect as you thought that they were. So the pedestal you may have had her on and assumed that she was on has been now brought down to your level because you may not be dealing with that in your marriage. But let Whitney tell it you have. All right. So that didn't make sense. I didn't like that. The person that you've known for 10 years is just now being relatable. Okay, girl. All right. So later on, Bronwyn, Heather, and Whitney and Angie, so they all sitting together. And Bronwyn brings up Lisa not being supportive as she was opening up. She felt like they were more, Lisa and Meredith were more receptive. No, I'm sorry. She felt like Heather, Angie, and Whitney were more receptive and responsive to her honesty. But she felt like Meredith and Lisa were more so taking the side of Todd, trying to slick defend him. And that's when Whitney says that's because it's a trigger for them. It's a trigger and they can relate because they're sticking to the don't talk about it type thing, okay? And let me tell y'all something. I was so glad that Bronwyn was clocking in that moment everything that I was clocking to. Sometimes you watch the show and it don't really hit them right out the gate of what somebody is doing. And I'm glad that she saw what the hell was happening immediately and, discussed it amongst the other ladies, all right? What else? Mary is taking her son to a facility, so congrats to her on that. Congrats to him for being ready. He said that he could see the trajectory going up for him, so it looks like he's really open to this, and that's a good thing. So she gets her son situated in a facility out of the state, and then she heads to the villa, shows up to the villa. One of the first people she wants to see is Angie, and they embrace each other for quite a long time, and I was really happy for this for Mary. I'm so glad that she has somebody that supports her and somebody she can, just, talk to during this journey or whatever that she's on right now. And I don't know, I was happy that she's not in it by herself. But I don't know why the hell she just didn't tell Meredith and Brittany and who was it, Lisa, that because they asked why didn't she show up the day before, and she was like, and then I'm here. I wish she would have just said, girl, because I had some stuff I had to take care of. It was some important family things I had to take care of, or just some important stuff I had to get out the way. So I'm here now. Okay, that's all she had to say. She made it much more awkward to me than what it has to be, to the point where I feel like they may try and bring that back up later. Who knows? Okay, so that was that. Brittany asked Meredith when they all get together, because now it's time for the Vita Tequila night, another night of promotion, honey. And Brittany asked Meredith about her crying and throwing up. Well, really, she asked her about crying or whatever. And Meredith says, I was upset and I'm good now. And I think Mary was like, what, you were crying? And she was like, well, I was, but I'm good now. She didn't want to talk about it. So then Bronwyn says, oh, you sure? I ain't trying to step on nobody's toes and that like that, girl, but I just try to figure out what the hell really going on, because I heard you was over there throwing up too. And Meredith was like, I was not throwing up. Okay? But I am fine now. And then Mary's like, hey, y'all stop talking about throw up. Bitch, I got this soup and it's looking like throw up. And I don't want to feel like I'm eating that. So can y'all just stop with the conversation of that? And Meredith gets in her feelings about people asking. And, of course, she says she was, I wasn't crying about that. But if y'all really want to know what I'm crying about, girl, I'm crying over slut shaming. So Angie is like, what you mean you crying over slut shaming when I thought we resolved that already? So wait a minute. Are you not in a good place with me? Did we not resolve everything last night? And then Lisa tries to chime in, and then now her and Angie going back and forth, because Angie like, girl, you need to stay out of it. We said we was going to stay out of people's business. I don't know why you jumping in it right now. Okay? Now, it's really given that Miss Angie is on the defense when it comes to Miss Lisa, but I do think Lisa was trying to help, because Lisa tells her she was trying to help. And the reason I think Lisa was trying to I'm going to say this. I ain't going to say Lisa was trying to help, but I feel like Lisa was more so on Angie's side, in my opinion, because she says, I think that Meredith should say how she feels instead of not talking about it. That is what Lisa was going in to say. Like, say what's really going on. Say how you feel. Tell us what's really going on instead of, just not talking about whatever. I thought Lisa was talking about, instead of you not talking about why you was really crying. Say how you feel. Say what was going on. But maybe she was talking about the slut shaming. Like, say how you feel about the whole slut shaming thing instead of not talking about it at all. Maybe that's what Lisa was saying. And maybe that's why Angie was like, girl, shut the hell up and stay out of it. Because you're really not trying to help like you say that you are. Okay, maybe it was. But Whitney jumps in and she going back and forth with Lisa. And Lisa like, girl, you don't give a damn about me. You've said a lot of stuff about me. And honestly, I shouldn't even be cool with you to this day, bitch. Okay? And then Bronwyn tries to jump in and add her 2 cents. And then Lisa pretty much tells her to stay out of it. And Bronwyn's like, damn, you always telling me to stay out of something. You always telling me to shut the hell up or whatever, girl. But all right. So, Lisa talks about being a good friend, and I've been a really good friend to you, and that kills. I'm so tired of hearing. Lisa has been hollering about a person being a good friend to her ass for years. And it's so annoying to hear, because you don't always show up as the friend that you want people to be to your ass. And it's really that simple. A lot of what you say about other folks is you. You always see it on other folks, but you never see it on yourself, even when they come into you expressing themselves to you. Irritating. Okay? Bronwyn ended up clocking Lisa for her not supporting her and believing Todd over her and stuff. Like, I don't know if it's that you don't believe me, you believe Todd or whatever, but you wasn't giving me support. So then Andrew was like, yeah, Bronwyn's right. Bronwyn, has definitely given us more information about her life than you've shared with your life. And of course, Lisa takes offense to this out the gate. Lisa gets upset, and Angie, I do feel like you was a bit wrong to say that. I see where you were trying to come from, I think. But I feel like you were wrong to say that, because both of y'all have agreed that y'all were really close friends and y'all would talk on the phone all the time, all day, all the time, whatever. So for you to sit up there and try and say that this lady did not share her life, she shared more of it with you than she probably has shared it with anybody else at this table. So you were wrong for that, baby. Okay, but in terms of the audience, Angie's not necessarily wrong, because you have not shared your entire life with the cast. You the one that act like you and your man are great and perfect. To me, I haven't seen much of an issue with y'all. So I feel like Angie not lying. I feel like Bronwyn has come into this season and been about more vulnerable than a lot of y'all sitting down at the table. Okay, but I do understand why Lisa cried, because it's like, damn, that's hurtful coming from you. I expect that from somebody else, but from you, a person that I've actually spent time with, talked to on the phone, shared things with, and for you to come at me like that, like, girl, that's fucked up. Yeah, nah. So Lisa gets emotional. She cries and she leaves. She says she's going home, but I don't think she's really leaving to go home because this is her trip. I think she means she's going home to her villa. Okay. So she was hurt. And that was that. But y'all leave y'all thoughts and comments down below and how y'all felt about the episode. All right. That's all that I got at this time. I'm Jami, that's me, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rag. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef on computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they died of me. All of a sudden, they tell me they proud of me. I've been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. When I catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.